Good morning, YouTube. Thanks so much for coming by, and if you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Andrea, and this is the Untamed Olive, where we make vegan recipes, work on beekeeping, garden hacks, and all things healthy living. So in today's video, I wanted to show you a Nourish bowl that I've been making now that it is finally garden season, and we've got veggies aplenty coming through. We're almost to tomato season, but I've got some mini baby beets coming up, a ton of kale, carrots, things like that. So I'm going to make a bowl out of those things and show you what it looks like and how easy it is and how healthy it is. So if you're interested in learning how to make this Nourish bowl, keep on watching. Okay, like I said, we've got plenty of veggies happening here. I have about 2 giant handfuls of kale that I've picked, and also some beets. I have 1 tomato that's ready, so of course we're going to use that as well. But first of all, I am just deveining this kale. That middle vein part is quite fibrous, so if you peel it away from the rest of the kale, it makes the kale much easier to eat, in my opinion. So I'm going to do that with all the kale and get it on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Okay, now that we've got all our kale deveined, these are some baby beets. I didn't thin out my beets well enough, so I tried to thin them out today and realized I had these little guys, and they're perfect. You can just scrub them off with a little kitchen scrubby, and you don't even need to skin them. I'm just cutting off the ends here and quartering them and putting them next to the beets. I'm going to give them a little bit more space so they cook evenly, and the nice thing is these are so small that they're going to cook in about the same time as everything else. And the idea here is simplicity. This is a one-pan stop shop. Your whole meal will be ready in this one pan, and you'll be good to go. Way less cleanup, which I love. There's our beets. Moving on, I've got about a quarter of a red onion that I've cut into pretty big chunks here. I'm gonna lay that out as well. And then we're gonna add a whole little carton of sliced button mushrooms. Obviously not from our garden, but delicious nonetheless. Once we've got all these on here, I'm going to sprinkle on our seasoning. Oh, first I forgot, I am sprinkling on some olive oil just to keep it from sticking and to give our veggies a little bit of a crunch. It helps with the kale to make it kind of like a chip-like texture. And I have got seasoning here. I'll list below how much, but we've got turmeric, pepper, salt, roasted red pepper flakes, onion powder, and garlic powder. I'm just sprinkling it everywhere. And then I'm going to toss it around with my hands to get everything coated in flavor. Okay, now that we're mixed, I am going to add a little bit of protein here. This is Beyond Sausage, it's the bratwurst, and I'm currently obsessed with them. They have 20 grams of protein and they're gluten-free. They taste really good, the texture is awesome. I'm just gonna cut this up and put it to the side so they'll roast as well. I kind of like to cook them fresh because this bowl will make a couple servings, but I'm just cooking one and then I'll probably cook another if I have leftovers with this. But really great way to add some protein and also some good texture to your Nourish bowl. Okay, once everything is in your pan and coated with seasoning and olive oil, I'm going to throw it in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes. And this is what it looks like after 20 minutes. Our kale's starting to get crispy. You can tell our mushrooms are cooking with our onions. The beets still need a little bit of time for sure, so I'm going to throw it in for another 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, this is what the kale's looking like. It's perfect, so I'm pulling it out, just putting it in a bowl to the side. Now, so it's been a total of 25 minutes. I've got a handful of fresh kale just to give us some fresh greens as well, and I'm layering all our veggies. Of course, you know, IG worthy. Layering them so they're pretty. You can just dump them in the bowl and eat it, and I promise it tastes the exact same. got everything layered here and ready to go. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at those beets. So good. You could eat it just like this, but of course I am a condiment queen, so I'm going to make a tahini dressing that is like the easiest dressing you've ever made, and it goes really lovely with all these flavors. So the base of it is obviously tahini, and I'm using this mortar and pestle set that Steve just bought. Isn't it cool? It's so cute. Entirely unnecessary, but I really wanted to use it, so I'm making it in this little dish here. So I'm going to add some tahini. I again will list below the amounts of everything so you can make it for yourself. I'm adding some tahini in here, and then we're going to add some roasted red pepper flakes, onion salt or onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and pink Himalayan sea salt. And we're going to mix it up. I'm also going to add some kelp granules for some added nutrients and for a little bit more salt factor. I'm adding the juice of a half of a lemon as well. And if I didn't say, I'm also adding nutritional yeast. So what you do is you just mix this around. It's interesting, when you add a little bit of liquid, it almost gets more pasty. So you've got to just add like a teaspoon of water at a time once you get all your ingredients in there, and it will slowly break up. See how thick it is there? I like it a little bit more drizzly, so I just keep adding water a little bit at a time and stirring it until it's the exact consistency I'd like. Oh, there's the kelp granules I was talking about. Add those in. And honestly, this is an awesome dressing to have on hand. It keeps in your fridge for, I mean, you probably could keep it for a month or so, but I always eat it too fast. And there's our nutritional yeast. So that's our little dressing, and once we get it done, we're going to drizzle it on top and enjoy. There you have it, adding on our tahini dressing here, and I'm going to do my very best to eat this entire bowl, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to succeed. Shaking. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that you love this recipe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of veggie dishes you're doing with your garden. I'm excited to know and would love to get some new recipes as well. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon. Cheers.